once again for the renegade master. Back 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 once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades, and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We are getting back into Married at First Sight Australia. We are now on series 11 and we are now on episode 2. So before we get into this episode, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so you know I'm on and doing videos. And let's get into this episode, shall we? So now we already know that there's 2 couples already been married. That's Cassandra and Tristan, and Sarah and Tim. And now we're going to get into another 2 couples that have been matched up, paired up this time, and going to get married. And where do I start? Do I start with Tori and Jack, the 2 control freaks? But in essence, it's more so Jack saying that he's used to submissive women, yeah, because he likes to be in control. Okay, he loves control, he demands control, he demands respect. Okay, so he likes to be in control. I'll keep saying that word because we need to remember this when this guy is talking. And he is used to submissive women. He basically wants a woman that is in control herself and that can challenge him. Now, my thing that I see with these types of men, especially with the men who say that they like to be in control, yeah, and they tend to date submissive women. When it comes to them wanting a woman that they want to challenge them or show them some type of challenge in any type of way, is in order for them to break them. That's what that is. They don't really want a woman that will challenge them 24/7. They don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want to feel emancipated as a man. So where Jack is coming from is, yes, he would like someone like that who will challenge him on his level, but then also expect that he will be able to try and break them into the submissive woman that he wants. That's what that type of man likes. And I'm saying that from the get-go because the shit that was coming out of this man's mouth through this episode, especially in the wedding bit, yeah, had me on alert. Not so much Tori, because she didn't overhear what he said at the wedding, but definitely had me on alert. And I mean, even Tori's close friend Leah was trying to tell this gal some things, but she didn't want to listen to it. She didn't want to listen to it. So, okay, we will continue as we go on. So we know that Cassandra and Tristan have gone off on a honeymoon. Sarah and Tim have gone off on a honeymoon, and it didn't start out so well for Sarah and Tim. So basically it does lift off where you see Sarah sitting on her own, and she basically did reflect on her feelings and say that she was frustrated to a point that she believed she put her feelings into him, which is what I said in the previous episode, that's what she was doing. So he does apologize to her, and she does reflect and say to him as well that she takes partial responsibility for the way that she acted. And this is what I'm saying, communication, people. Ain't nothing. Communication. Get to a place of reasoning, of common ground, and then you can move forward properly with each other. Okay, so hopefully I would say that this will be it for them, but I doubt it. I very much doubt it. But Cassandra and Tim are getting on really well. No complaints there in the slightest with these 2. So the next 2 couples that we have coming up is Lucinda and Timothy, and we also have Jack and Tori. You know, just spoke about them already, but we'll continue. Timothy is kind of an older gentleman, and I think Lucinda, who is going to be paired with, is going to be way past his usual type. Like, seriously, way past his usual type. He says his last relationship was 5 years ago, but she decided to leave him for someone else. And I think that has made its mark on Timothy, because he doesn't believe that he's good enough, or he does put himself down, especially when it comes to how he looks. So he's hoping that whoever he gets married to will like his facial features at the end of the day. But it's more about what you look like. It's more about what's skin deep at the end of the day when it comes to this process. So his nickname, or the moniker that he's been given to himself, is the Tin Man. So we all know from Wizard of Oz, the Tin Man has no heart. So that's what Timothy is saying, because this man has been through a string of just like trauma and bereavement. So yeah, some years ago he's lost his mum. Not so far after that, he lost his younger brother, and then 6 weeks before him coming into this show, he lost his dad. So he's still going through that grieving process. So he basically said that he got to a point where he was, and he does say this in his wedding speech, that he does kind of open up a part of himself to other people to let them know what he's all about in that sense. So he literally, after his dad passed, was by himself, had the realization that he was all alone, and he had no one to call in order to speak to. And that's what set off the chain reaction of him then applying to this show. Now, my thing is he calls himself the Tin Man for a reason. He says that he finds it better to literally hold things inside. So he was taught at a young age that boys don't cry, men don't cry. So that's what he's gone with throughout his life, which is not good, because boys do cry and men do cry. You need to express your emotions in a healthy way to be able to get past the shit that is basically blocking you. And this is what I think Timothy is doing. He's literally shoved so much shit deep inside of him that he doesn't know what the fuck to do with it at the end of the day, to the point where I'm like, and this is where I say, it's like with these shows, a damaged person will apply to this show thinking they're wanting to, I don't know, gain some type of clarity, gain some type of therapeutic sense out of this show and out of a person that they may potentially meet. But then in essence, what they're doing is putting the damage that they feel onto the person that they meet, in turn damaging them. And that doesn't work. These types of show are not the process for you to try and get therapy or some therapeutic feeling through. You need to have dealt with at least some of that emotion before you then come putting it on somebody else. Cinda is a lovely woman. I ain't gonna lie, she's a lovely woman. She is a definite free spirit. She's definitely into that free spirit at the end of the day. I think that type of thing, for me per se, will get on my tits pretty quickly. It will get on my tits pretty quickly. She feels that maths will make her feel more open than she already is now. And I think this is where it gets a bit iffy, because I think sometimes they put too much of an onus on how their experience will be going through maths, when their experience is going to be individualistic, but then also as a couple as well. So then we move on to Jack. I've already spoken about him a little bit. We know he's an absolute control freak. He's a person who likes to be in control. He calls himself an alpha. I don't like when men and women, basically, even the experts, use the term him and Tori are alphas in their world and da-da-da-da-da. They're not fucking wolves at the end of the day. They're not from the animal kingdom in that such a way that they are necessarily an alpha. All they are is strong personalities, fiercely independent, and know what it is that they want out of their partner, or expect out of their partner, basically. That's what they are. I wouldn't term that as an alpha at the end of the day, because they don't lead a motherfucking pack. Okay? They do not lead a motherfucking pack, so they're not alphas. So he says that he wants to be a leader and a provider, and he has no one to lead for. So he's usually attracted to the types that literally just roll over and literally just say, how high do you want me to jump sort of women, but he wants someone to challenge him and who has a backbone. All I'm going to say is he needs to be careful what he wishes for. So Tori then, they expect, will be his match, because Tori is in a male dominated position, and she calls herself a self-certified control freak as well. She is very much fiercely independent. She was brought up by a single mother, and her mother's been very independent, saying, like, you know, she understands that realm of, you don't need a man, but you may want one to be around in order to share any happiness, and yada yada yada. When she was speaking to one of the experts, she turned around and she said that she can get very harsh, aggressive and insensitive, and she's never ever compromised in her life. I'm like, you sure you've never compromised in your life? So when you do things with your mum and your mum wants to do something else and you meet halfway, or you say, okay, then I won't do that today, I'll come and do this with you. She's never compromised in her life. That's what she's saying, unless she's just talking about it's got to be an intimate personal relationship that she has never compromised in her life with. And I do find that very hard to believe. Like, honestly find that very hard to believe. And if she's not, she's gonna be fucking hard to deal with, like, seriously, because this is the one that's already got like airs and graces and lofty aspirations in regards to what she wants out of a marriage. But we'll see how that goes between them, because yeah, all I'm thinking is this man just wants this woman to be able to break her. To the first wedding, which is of Lucinda and Timothy, and they're like at the top of a bluff. And let's put it this way, it looks hella windy up there, like hella windy up there. But Timothy then talks about the last person that he went out with, and they were very big into meditating, and he couldn't stand it because there were certain points where he couldn't walk through the home, where he has to be very, very quiet. And I says, well, Lucinda is very much very one with the world, and she does meditate, so we'll see how that works out for you both, shall we? So Timothy again has insecurities about how he looks, and as I said, he needs to get rid of this Tin Man moniker, because it really is not good. It's not good when he keeps calling himself the Tin Man. He basically says he wants a cool partner, and I thought, well, you can't get cooler than Lucinda at the end of the day. So Lucinda talks about how the fact that she was bedridden for 8 months due to severe back pain, and she'd had a breakdown after that, and then throughout that she'd ended up working on herself, and during that time that's how she's managed to build up this type of resilience and come out with this, like, you know, she's kind of like, Lucinda's kind of ethereal. She really is. She's kind of like an ethereal character, and really understanding as well. So they get up to the altar. It is a very awkward greeting, because at first it was kind of like Lucinda's definitely into him. Not too sure whether he's into her or not. So basically it started off with this vision type thing that you do whilst you're meditating or about to do like your breathing exercises. So she was getting them, the officiant was getting them, which I think is Lucinda's friend, was getting them to close their eyes and start to vision things. And then she got out these, I think it looked like chicken feathers, as Timothy called them, chicken feathers, and started to like waft the smoke over them. And Timothy was like, oh my God, where the fuck am I? Like, he was saying this all in his head basically, but you could kind of see on his face too that he didn't know what the fuck to do. And then he was looking over at Lucinda, and he could tell that Lucinda was very much into it, so he knew she was that type of girl or that type of woman. So he was like, he was just praying for something to open up and hit him with it then. And then as he said that, yeah, the fucking universe must have heard it. And I thought Timothy manifested that shit. The clouds broke open and a fucking thunderstorm came in that everybody had to run. And he was like, oh shit, yeah, reprieve from that rubbish. But then after a while, the sun did come back out, and they were able to go back and get married and everything like that, and then get into wedding breakfast and enjoy themselves. So basically, as we then move over to Tori and Jack's wedding, Jack is talking about how his parents have been married for 40 years. and he looks up to his parents and their marriage. And sometimes I do get a bit iffy when people do that, because yes, you can look at their marriage and say, oh yeah, I'd love to be with someone for that period of time, but you know, your parents' marriage is your parents' marriage, and it necessarily won't be your own marriage, because there'll be a lot of instances that shit may have gone down in your parents' marriage that you wouldn't even fucking have an inkling about. So you can't base the fact that you're going to look up to your parents' marriage in order to emulate what they have, because it may not work that way for you. And that's why I kind of get worried when people say that kind of thing, because you have to look past that and make your own examples for your own marriage at the end of the day. So Jack goes down the aisle first, and tell me why Tori's mum was coming on to this boy, like raw, just coming on to this boy, like she could not keep her yap from chapping, because it looked like that she kind of had a little bit of a crush on him. And she was basically all but saying to him, like, if it don't work out with her daughter, you know, you can still come round on here. And I was like, my mumsy, no, don't do that. Not at your daughter's wedding. It might be all fun and jest and that, but you know what? There could be a little bit of seriousness about it, or someone could actually take that shit the wrong way. None of that. But anyway, on first meet, they really liked each other. I don't know where Jack's ankles were going, and I saw it as well on Jaden as well. The guys were wearing these fucking loafers, but the trousers were hitting the ankles and no socks. And I was like, this is weird as fuck to me. Like, honestly, this is weird as fuck. I know it's going to be quite hot over there, but couldn't they get trousers that actually meet the shoes? Because I found the ankle bit and the shoe, where the distance of the trouser and the ankle and the shoe heat was just weird. It was absolutely fucking weird to me. We get to the wedding breakfasts, and we see Jack and Tori first, and this is where the first set, well, I would say second set of red flags happens for me. And Leah did express her concerns. Leah is Tori's best friend, to Tori about Jack. So Tori was literally telling him who was there on her side. So when the same question came for Jack, Jack had all his clients there with his mum and his dad, which I found hella weird, because I'm like, why would you have people that pay you in order to support them through your personal training work, and you've asked them to come to your wedding? Where are your actual friends? And that's the question that Leah was asking. Where are his actual friends? Because you literally sometimes can tell a person's character through the people that they call friends, especially close friends, and the people that they acquaint with and hang around with. So is Jack necessarily saying that he don't really have no friends? He finds it hard to make friends, and if he does make those friends, he finds it hard to maintain those friends. Because I don't understand how your whole guest list will be made up just of people that you've PT'd. It makes no sense to me in the slightest. But the thing of it is when Leah went back to Tori and told her concerns, Tori weren't feeling none of that. Like, seriously weren't feeling none of that, and basically saying that she was going to make her own way. So as Tori and Leah's chatting, the camera kind of pans to Jack and him talking to his parents. Now, I've never known any grown child, to talk to their parents in the way that Jack was talking to his parents. That if the chick, and that's what he called her, a chick, the woman he just married, he called her chick, okay? Let's continue from there. Like, doesn't go to the gym with him, he doesn't know how that's going to work, because he wants Tori to be able to delve in with the gym with him as well. Because he said when he said to her that he owned the gym and did his PT there and everything like that, she didn't necessarily say, oh, what gym is it, or find an interest in it. He then goes on to say that he's happy that she is younger so he can lead her on the right way. So he thinks he's able to mold her into the type of woman that he wants. And then now I've got to wonder, well, what type of women were you picking previously? Were they actually of the younger range so you could try and mold them into a pattern of what you want? I think he's picked the wrong woman for that, but we'll see. And I just thought, yes, something's not adding up with this man. Something's not adding up with this man. And Leah did mention about the fact that, you know, you have to be careful in terms of his attitude could be quite misogynistic. I'm thinking, yes, I think that's where it's going to lead to with Jack. That is where it's going to lead to with Jack, because the shit that he was saying did not instill me with any type of goodness. And as I said already, this man is set out, yeah, to break this girl, to literally break this girl. He wants a challenge, and he's going to see Tori as that challenge, because she herself said that she's a self-confessed control freak. Yeah, she's fiercely independent in her values, is what she said. Those were like a red flag to a bull for Jack, because all he's now thinking is how I can get you to submit to me, because that's how he's seeing it. That is my view. That is how he's seeing it, and he's going to play the games. He's going to play the games. He's going to play his little mind tricks with her, first and foremost, to see if he can break her down that way. If he can't, he will try something else. Mark my words. When we see Timothy and Lucinda, they're taking their photos. For Lucinda, for her, she's saying it's coming quite natural, whereas for Timothy, it is not at all. I don't think them two are on the same playing field at all, because Lucinda's literally, she's really into Tim, whereas Tim not so much. And I don't know how they're going to come together through that, or even if they can. And you see them all get ready and pack off for their honeymoons. And there's one thing that I will say in regards to Tori and Jack, where Tori basically says that she doesn't normally feel physical attraction or want to do the physical affection, like touching and everything, with a person that she's just met, but she's literally all over Jack already. And the way in which she's talking, she does not look past his looks. Like, seriously, everything is based around how he looks to her. And I think this is going to be her downfall, because she's not going to heed the warnings that this man is already showing. So basically, on the flip side, Jack is starting to say he feels no sparks at all with Tori, but yet this man is accepting her kisses and all sorts, but yet he has no spark with her. So why the fuck are you kissing her, my guy? Why are you kissing her? But anyway, that's where the episode ended, but I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. As I always say, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button so you know I'm doing videos, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Peace out.